What's up, guys? So today we have 6.4.3 as our quest. We're starting off a bit later in the quest to show some of the more difficult fights. We've got Blade, Void, Venompool and Black Widow before this. That is the path you want to take, starting with those four champs. On this, you've got True Strike and Aggression Cruelty. If you rely on a evade champ, don't bring them. But, if you do, or just take whatever champs you want. So obviously I do a lot of the fights with my favourite champs, which are Rintra and Null. They work perfectly well. The nodes are not too tricky. It becomes a lot like just a regular quest. You won't really struggle with the build-up fights. It's more the boss fight that is a bit more tricky. I hope you guys enjoyed 6.4.1 and 6.4.2 with the new sort of format. I've been taking your comments on board, and I'll be making a decision in the future or in sort of the next video whether I will want to continue with the shorter format where you see a couple of the fights to understand the nodes and then the boss fight, or if you would like to go back to how it was where you see all of the fights. I'm quite enjoying it this way. I think the shorter videos make it a lot more interesting for you guys and you stick around for a lot longer, so I do think they're worth it. However, you guys let me know what you think, or let me know in the comments, and we'll go from there. As I said, the actual quest fights are not too difficult. You haven't really got anyone in there who makes these fights quite hard. I know Void can be a bit of a pain if you're not used to fighting Void. However, King Groot, relatively easy. Blade, quite easy. Venompool, easy. Black Widow, easier. Like, they're all champs you can fight quite well. So this is one of the easiest ones. However, on this lane, you've also got the Annihilus mini-boss, who is a real pain. He did cause me some issues, and I wasn't a massive fan of him. However, if if you've got somebody, so for example, I took in Rintra and he made the fight a lot easier. If you've got somebody who can neutralize or stagger or nullify. Yeah, nullify. No, it is nullify. Buffs, then that fight is not too tricky. You don't have the unstoppables as common. And although he does do a bit of damage, you should be able to tank that with whichever champ you choose to take in. And then it does make this lane a lot easier. Good counters for this fight are any champ in particular, like really who you are enjoying playing, or the stronger champs in the game. Obviously, for every quest, the strong champs, the Gallon, the Hercules, the Doctor Dooms, the Tigers, all work perfectly fine, and you can take out champs really easy with them. However, I would say that this fight doesn't really have anyone in particular who you need to bring and think, like a Biohazard or anything like that. You can bring sort of any real champ who can do a lot of damage, except from those who rely really heavily on evade, but there isn't really many of those. Maybe a Nightcrawler, but I know not many people actually use him. So yeah, this lane isn't too tricky, and I'm sure you guys will smash this lane in your first couple of attempts. However, the boss fight is where it gets a little bit more tricky, and I would definitely say that some practice on this one or some prep will definitely help, as he has as well. Darkhawk in general is quite an annoying boss to fight. However, he also does have some annoying nodes, which we'll get onto once we get to that fight. Obviously, this Drax fight is nothing to be worrying about. I think I should be ending up with a full yellow bar. If I don't, I'll be quite embarrassed. Yep, there it is. I felt like I didn't end with a full yellow, and it was because I got hit by Drax's SP2, which is it's one of the easiest ones, I'm sure, to deck, so it's my own fault. But like I said, the Darkhawk boss is quite tricky, and the Annihilus boss is also relatively hard, which I'm sure we'll get to in a second. How are you guys feeling? If you've been, playing through this, leave a comment down below. Let me know which quest you found the easiest so far, which ones you found a bit more tricky. I would love to hear it. Love to have conversations with everyone in the comments. Find it really interesting. I feel like that's what makes MCOC so great. Is it's still, it's a big billion-dollar game, but there's not thousands and millions of players playing it like there is sort of a bigger game like FIFA or Call of Duty. So it does make it a bit more of a community, and that's something I enjoy. So if you want to comment, feel free. Definitely, definitely reply and try my best to get back to you and get a conversation going. But yeah, back to the video. We've obviously got the Thor boss, easy to take down. Not boss, sorry, just the Thor fight, easy to take down. But the Annihilus is where it gets a little bit more tricky. So he does have a few nodes on him. He obviously has the aggression, but then he has the no retreat. And that's what makes this fight a bit more of a pain. If you're not used to no retreat, it was on an earlier quest. If you dash back once, you get a passive degeneration. If you then dash back again, you get that degeneration on you, and it does quite a bit of damage, and it can obviously stack. So the more you sort of try and dash back and dex, the more damage it does. So really, Rintra is a perfect counter to this. He obviously has the special route, so it doesn't do as much damage when you get hit by your special. Baiting specials can be a bit more tricky, so you just have to remember that degeneration won't do as much damage as SP3. So if he's really not throwing that SP2 and you think he's going to hit you, then do try and bait it out by taking the degeneration damage. However, it's not something that you should be worrying about, as obviously you'll see here, I get hit by the SP2, or not the SP2, I will end up getting hit by the SP3, so that does obviously a load of damage and can almost knock me out. But like I said, with the no retreat, it does make it that little bit harder. Obviously baiting specials, but I know Annihilus by himself is an annoying defender, so to sort of get him with this node can be a real pain and can take some practice, but once you get used to it and once you remember that you can't dash back that many times, it is made a lot easier. But that's that fight. Let's move on to the boss fight, the Darkhawk. What nodes does he have? So he's got Force of Will, so he can't be, or he's immune to ability accuracy. That's obviously a bit of a pain. He's got Lionheart, so if your defender if his healing abilities are reduced or reversed by a debuff, he gains 300% potency, and you get 200% of their attack as direct damage. So somebody who reverses regeneration, I wouldn't take in. Best counters for this fight are a Medusa. Dr. Doom works really nicely with his power gain, because obviously this Darkhawk also has power efficiency, so his special attacks only cost 50% less. That can be a real pain, especially with that SP2 when he has shield, so this fight can be really, really long. A miscounter would be quite a good idea. A Human Torch, for example, or maybe even a Nick Fury would work. So there are a few counters to this fight. Even me, I bought in this Immortal Abomination, and obviously he's robotic, so he can't get poisoned. However, no one's immune to acid burns, so that was sort of the way I went. He obviously wasn't the main champ I wanted to take in. Null was. However, the shield mode also means that he can get auto block, which can be a real pain. So just be careful with this Darkhawk. He is a bit of a tricky boss. He's one of the trickier bosses, definitely. However, once you get used to him, and if you already know how to fight Darkhawk, then these fights can be made basically a whole lot easier. And with that 50% health, a power gain champ would come in handy and would be really effective. But if you don't have one of those, I wouldn't panic. Just go in with the champs that you've got, and you can take them down. It'll just be a lot longer fight. Obviously, I've got quite a few champs ready there to take him on, so it can be a relatively quick fight, but I'll speed it up a little bit so you guys can sort of see the way I went about it. He also has a Raptor upgrade, so this is the main one, which I didn't get on my fight. I don't know whether it's been buffed, because this is from an sort of an old walkthrough that I'm taking this information off, because obviously it's not in front of me right now. But apparently he can start the fight in null mode, which when he's in it, his light and medium attacks are unblockable. I didn't get this once in any of the attempts that I made on this round. Maybe it's been taken out, but if not, then you have to remember that is the case, and his light and mediums will be unblockable. However, that does sound, me not having it at all does make me think that maybe it has been taken out or was a bit too overpowered, and because I know that the Act 6 did get buffed or did get nerfed a little bit, going through and looking at some of the previous fights, like the champion fight I know got nerfed, so that there is the possibility that did happen. That's all I've got to say about this fight. A regular Darkhawk, we've been through the counters. A missed counter like a Human Torch would be really good. He's obviously not Incinerate immune. Let me know what you guys think, how you guys feel about these videos, seeing a couple of the fights and then going in and seeing the boss. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like, leave a comment if you want to have a chat about any of these things, or if you just want to speak MCOC. I'm always in the comments, so definitely leave a comment if you want to. If not, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the video. I hope this is going really well for you and you're getting close to Thronebreaker. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.